Easter Wings by George Herbert, 1593 to 1633. Lord, who createst man in wealth and store, though foolishly he lost the same, decaying more and more till he became most poor. With thee, O let me rise as larks harmoniously, and sing this day thy victories, then shall the fall further the flight in me. My tender age in sorrow did begin, and still with sickness and shame thou didst so punish sin, that I became most thinne. With thee let me combine and feel thy victory, for if I imp my wing on thine, affliction shall advance the flight in me. Okay, this poem is by George Herbert. Let's see, George Herbert was an English poet, and then he was an orator. He also actually served as a member of Parliament for King James I, and then after that he became a priest. He was born in Wales, but he spent most of his time in England. He went to Trinity College, Cambridge, in the 1609, for example. So, what's this about? Well, look at the title. The title is Easter Wings. And Easter is the time where Christians believe that Jesus was resurrected from the dead. And the poem is talking about how life was at the very beginning, and when man was created, and how Adam was cast out of the Garden of Eden, and that he says that man is still suffering today because of what happened to Adam and Eve and how they were evicted from the Garden of Eden. But he wants to change that. He wants God to let him rise out of the darkness and back into the light, for man to be able to go back to a state where he is in the light. He has come out of the darkness. Now also, if you look at the shape of this poem, if you look at it like this, you will see this is like a pair of wings. Yeah, a set of wings. And I think the wings give the idea of flying and resurrection, of going up, of man going back up to a state of grace to the state of grace from which he had fallen. And this also is echoing the resurrection of Jesus from the dead, and he's likening what he wants to happen to man, that man will be able to go back to fly upwards on these wings. So let's see. Lord, who createst man in wealth and store. So, Lord God, you created, when you created man, you gave us everything. You gave us wealth and all of the good things in life. Though foolishly he lost the same. So foolishly man lost this this wealth and store, and was cast out of the Garden of Eden because of what Adam and Eve did, decaying more and more. So the state of man has been going down and down and down ever since, till he became most poor. So originally man had everything, and then he left the Garden of Eden, and now man is really is very poor. And notice, the positive lines, the very positive lines, are the long ones, and this is, I think, echoing the shrinking of the grace of man, of the man's relationship with God, and how he has fallen. And the shortest lines, most poor, yeah, this is much more negative. And then it comes back. With thee, O let me rise as larks harmoniously. So, God, let me come back from the situation we're in as larks harmoniously. So a lark is a little bird that gets up very early in the morning. And I think he's got this idea of the lark flying upwards. And these are the wings of Easter. And we have this image of a lark flying into the air. And this represents the resurrection of Jesus as well. And that's where this is talking about the wings of Easter. And sing this day thy victories. So let me come back and let man be resurrected like you were resurrected. Yeah, and this Easter day we can sing about the wonderful things of our God. And then shall the fall further the flight in me. So he wants to fly up and up and up, and the wings will take man back to a state of grace, and he will fly. He wants man to fly now higher than the state that man was in before he left the Garden of Eden. Okay. My tender age in sorrow did begin. So my tender age, when man was young, in sorrow did begin. So again, this is making a reference to the Garden of Eden and how Adam and Eve were evicted from the Garden of Eden. Yeah, and that's how. So at the beginning, man lived in sorrow because he didn't live in Eden anymore. He had fallen from grace, and still with sickness and shame. Okay, so it began with sadness and with sickness and with shame, with embarrassment. Thou didst so punish sin that I became most thin. Okay, so the punishment, the fall from grace, leaves man very thin. Yeah, that man is wasting away. Notice also this assonance with these eyes. Begin, it, still, sickness, punish, sin, I, thin. Yeah, he's playing with assonance here. With thee let me combine and feel thy victory. So let man come back to God. With you, let me combine with you. Let me come back to grace and feel the victory, the glories of God. For if I imp my wing on thine, if I support my wing on your wing, yeah, if you help me, if you help man, then affliction shall advance the flight in me. Then man will come back from the affliction of the fall from grace, and man will be able to fly higher, and man will be able to rise above all of the sin that is part of man, yeah, the original sin. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Easter Wings by George Herbert.